Why did that freak you out so much? I was just calling you.
Sorry, I was absorbed in the book. What is it? Is something wrong?
I have bad news.
Bad news?
Yeah. It's evening.
Aw, that means the date's over. That is bad news. Really? I didn't realize.
There's a clock over there. It's 6 already. I'm hungry and I want to leave. Alright?
Oh, okay. The romance novel is readable. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I like it.
That's nice. Got something to do tonight? If not, we could, eat out.
That sounds nice. Let's do that.
Okay. Cool. Let's go.
Aw, and took out for dinner too. What a guy. Welcome! Oh, you work for the master, right? Take a seat. The master?
That's what they call Alt. The people here are weird. I really don't get it.
Is it like a maid cafe of sorts?
I wanted to take you to a shop where you didn't go with Alt, but in the end there aren't any. I worried about it for nothing.
Really? There aren't any?
I don't think so. The Valentines breathe down all our necks.
I see. I think it turned out for the best, though. I wouldn't have gotten the chance to see the archive otherwise. The book you gave me is interesting, too.
Interesting. Hey, are romance novels fun?
Yeah, of course! Oh. The people around me were looking at me. I'd been too loud. Ulrich mumbled a
Dummy.
and smiled. I cleared my throat and leaned over to speak quietly. I've never read a book like that before. I can't wait to find out what's going to happen.
I guess if you're not allowed to love whoever you want up there, you don't have romance novels either. I understand that on a rational level, but there's just so much of it down here. I can't imagine what it would be like without romance stuff everywhere. What books did you read?
Guidebooks and heroic tales. Things about soldiers and knights, dragons and pegasuses. Stories about people fighting for the survival of their country.
Oh. Yeah, I can totally see you liking those.
I do. But the romance novel is great, too. I don't really understand why the people in it have all these complicated feelings, but I like their banter. I could say a similar thing about you two. I do quite like your banter.
Seems to me like the point of a romance novel are those complicated feelings, but to each their own.
Are books like that popular here?
Yeah. I don't read them, but lots of women apparently do.
I see. Perhaps that's why I like it then. You've got a lot of books inside that archive. Have you read them all?
No way. That would be impossible. But I think I've gotten through more than half. I didn't have much else to do as a kid.
I see. I didn't take you to have grown up in a bookish family.
Huh. What did you take me for instead?
A man who's rude, ill-tempered, and hard to understand. Well, she just laid it out there.
Ha!
But I started seeing that more as a part of your age and being a real flawed human. I felt even more uncomfortable around you at first, and now it feels almost like you're not yourself if you don't insult me. I'm glad I got to learn more about you today. I liked that. It was very meaningful. Thank you.
Cool. No sweat. If you liked it, that's great. Let me see. My first impression of you hasn't changed at all. You're not very feminine, a bit of an idiot, and way too serious and focused on work. Too straight shooting. Too bright and frustrating for someone living in the shadows like me. I'm still not really comfortable around you, but I can accept that people like you exist now. A little. I'm not tolerant enough to accept all that into my life, but I can tolerate it. I don't automatically reject it. I can't explain it. So, you know, this was also meaningful for me. Thanks.
Ulrik's words of gratitude were so quiet, the bustle of the restaurant almost drowned them out. But I heard them, and they seeped into my heart. I think we're slowly warming up to each other. I wanted to have a good relationship with him. We worked for the same man, after all. As we ate, I thought about how much that meant to me. Smooch this time? Eh? Good night, Smooch.
Right. I'm gonna take my leave here.
You're not coming in.
Nah. I've got something to do after this. If I come in now, I won't leave for a while.
All right. Thank you for today. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Oh, right. Here. This is the book you were reading. Just give it back one day.
I was wondering if you were gonna lend it to her. Because we had that scene earlier with Vice where he's like, I don't lend out my books. I know I'll never get it back. You'll just sell it. But he trusts this girl with a book. Yeah, thank you. I mean, he wouldn't offer it if he didn't trust her and if he wasn't absolutely sure. All we can do is say thanks. Yep. Oh, I wanted to read the rest, yes. Thank you, Ulrik.
You're welcome. I'm not a fan of the contents, but it's out of print. Don't get it dirty or lose it or something. Oh, and also, it's good we're getting closer. I said it's good we're getting closer. We're going to be allies for a long time.
You don't mind me thinking of us with words like that? Closer and allies?
It's dumb how you're always so grateful and pleased if I do stuff for you. Take it more for granted.
Okay, Ulrik.
Okay, that's all. Night.
Yeah, good. Hey, wait! There's something else we need to change.
What? Why?
How are you going to refer to me?
You?
You don't think it's weird that you rarely use my name? Besides, I'm never certain if you refers to Elkreed or to me, and neither is he. If we're allies, can you call me by my name?
By your name?
Yeah. It's Cyrus, by the way.
I know that, dummy. But I'm not ready to do that yet. Don't rush me, okay? Bye.
Stay here.
Hey, let go of my clothes.
No. I won't let go until you say my name. My name. Go on.
But what's wrong with you suddenly? Fine. I'll say it. Cyrus.
That's fine. I want you to keep using my name. Looking forward to it.
Sure. Okay. See you around, Cyrus.
Yes. Good night, Ulrich. Aww. He's gonna start saying her name. So sweet. He's entrusted me with something important. Compared to the centuries-old volumes in the room, it wasn't necessarily all that remarkable a book. But it's out of print. I have to be careful with it. Oh my! I didn't know you were a reader. Whoa! The sudden voice startled me and I dropped the book. That poor book. Oh no, the book! I reached out to pick it up, but someone else's hand was faster. I looked up. Well, I can only imagine what he has to say about us reading a romance novel. Elkreed. He welcomed me back, leafing through the book with an expression of curiosity as he did so. The Night Princess. It's a classic romance novel. Classic? Yes. This one was written a few decades ago. Oh, so that's why it's out of print. Elkreed, have you read this book? Oh, some of it. Enough to seem cultured. But this edition has certainly seen better days. And it's all in old script. Incredible.
Is that surprising?
Yes. You can probably find it in bookstores using a modern transcription. They're much more readable than this. Tracking down books in the original script nowadays is difficult. Where did you find it?
I didn't find it. ULRIK lent it to me. Stop dropping the book! That poor book! Lost for words, Elkreed dropped the book. I managed to catch it before it hit the ground. Goodness, Elkreed! Thank you for catching it.
I'm very sorry. I couldn't believe ULRIK would lend anyone books. He can't trust others. I've never known him to trust anybody. And he's lending you his property. Are you blackmailing him?
Blackmailing? No, nothing of the sort. I think he lent it to me because I liked reading it.
I see. I admit I thought he was a harder man to get than that. Harder to get to lend something at any rate. Perhaps he likes you. That's nice. And, well, this makes me quite happy as well. What a nice development.
Development?
Yes. You two seem a lot closer now than you used to be.
Well, I suppose that's true.
That's going to come in useful.
Don't bully ULRIK, please.
Yes, my lady. He will only be bullied in moderation.
Oh, brother.
All right. Shall we go to bed? I won't go to the bank tomorrow. You should have a rest as well. Well then, good night.
I understand. Good night, Elkreed. He's really giving her a lot of days off this time. It seems like I won't have guard duties tomorrow. I can stay up a little longer. I unbuckled my sword, changed into my sleepwear, and lay down on my bed. In the book, a princess took up arms for her ravaged country, supported by her faithful knight. The knight loves his princess, but she doesn't realize that, she says as Finn music plays in the background. I don't understand what the knight is feeling either. I wonder why he fell in love with the princess. I couldn't understand the subtleties of their romance, but I liked the book for its adventure and outpouring of human emotion. And so I kept reading, blissfully ignorant of the advancing clock. I've been there, girl. Alright, ULRIK, how you feeling after your first dato? Pretty good, probably. I'm so tired. I was finally done with all my nighttime work and went to Elkreed's room to report. And when he's got the info, I'm going home to sleep. I want to sleep. When my hand touched the doorknob, I remember my time with Cyrus the day before.
Aw, she's so happy.
What was going through my head yesterday, lending her a book and all that? I guess I wouldn't have read it anyway, but still. Brrr. Remembering the way she looked made me nervous. I couldn't think properly. Why the hell am I so nervous? Let's get this over with. Elt. Okay, good. He's on the sofa. Elt, I'm here to report on what you asked me to do.
Oh, good morning. Did you like the Sanctuary District? It's been a long time.
It really hasn't, and no, I didn't. It looks like the hounds know that Cyrus is gone, but they don't seem to be looking for her.
Okay.
I see. That's good.
Yeah, it is.
Why do you agree?
Why? What do you mean? The fewer the problems, the better.
Huh. Okay. Why did you lend her a romance novel?
What? How do you know that?
I saw her walking around with it. Well, I'm honestly jealous. You never lent me so much as a pen. Why did you do it?
I did it on a whim.
And it's also on a whim that you got along so well yesterday, huh?
What? Did she tell you everything that happened? Why can't she keep that to herself?
I think that's part of what makes her attractive.
I don't know what you mean. I'm done here. I'm going home.
Go on then. Thank you for your work. Rest well. The romance of living beings is 10 times more interesting than a novel.
Ah. Elt, I swear you're nothing but trouble. How long did you sleep? The room is so bright. Oh, it's morning already. I stayed up too late. At least I won't have to work today. I turned around in bed, comfortable in the knowledge that I didn't have to wake up. I can hear talking. It's Elkreed and I don't know who else. Unless Elkreed was talking loudly to himself, someone else had to be there. I wonder what's going on. I should check. How much did you hear? I changed into my uniform and left the room.
Oh, good morning. You just missed him.
Drat. I looked around. Elkreed was sprawled out on the sofa. Nobody else was in the room. Elkreed. I looked at him quizzically. Who else had been here? He looked at me back with the same expression.
ULRIK was here until just now. He went home to sleep.
ULRIK. They must have talked. Did he come here to eat breakfast?
No, he reported on something he did for me.
It's so early. How does he have so much energy after being with me yesterday?
What do you think about ULRIK?
May I be frank?
Of course. You may be as frank as you like with me.
That reminds me, ULRIK said something similar yesterday. I nodded. It seemed like ULRIK was a popular subject of conversation at the moment. ULRIK has a bad personality and attitude, and he's uncouth. I find it hard to understand him. I've rarely met someone so disagreeable.
Oh my. Really?
Yes, but that isn't the whole story. He has a bad attitude towards others, but he considers them more than he lets on. He also does good work. I respect him as a co-worker.
As a co-worker, huh? I can't say that surprises me coming from you, but allow me another question. think about the novel you're reading right now. Aren't you a little like the protagonist, with your heart captured by him?
Like the protagonist? I struggle to understand the concept of love as the novel presents it. I can understand their emotions when they meet powerful enemies or accomplish their goals, and also that they can share that with someone of the opposite sex. However, I can't understand how their feelings for each other differ from those towards other people. I can't see many parallels between myself and the novel's protagonist. The novel's plot amuses me, but as a romance, it confounds me more than anything.
I see. I expect this too is because love was not allowed where you grew up. I do pity the people in the Heights somewhat.
Pity. Elkreed, are you hoping to see romance between me and ULRIK?
I wouldn't go that far, but I think you would make a good couple. I like both of you, so it would make me happy to see you together.
I see.
You're awfully calm about this. Perhaps I should teach you the basics then.
Teach me the basics?
Yes. I should beguile you until you are calm no more. And I could also wind up ULRIK in the process.
Oh god, please don't. Elkreed!
Just kidding. I'd never hear from ULRIK again. And if that happened, I would cry like a little baby.
Well, I'm pleased that you value your friendship with ULRIK more than getting together with Cyrus. Elkreed smiled and stood up. Before he left the room, he put his hand on my shoulder encouragingly. What a strange man. Not that I didn't know that. Love. Me and ULRIK a couple. Me and ULRIK. ULRIK. I wondered. Merely repeating his name to myself was enough to fluster me. Is this what it means to be in love? My cheeks were getting hot and I felt restless. Well, that was sudden. I like him, but I don't like everything about him. He had plenty of faults, so many I sincerely hoped at least some would disappear. But I don't dislike being with him. Even now, I want to be with him. I realized that I'd used the same words as the protagonist in my novel. I'm not riding a horse and I don't have to fight dragons. She lives in a very different world. But if I continued reading, perhaps I would understand love. Perhaps I would come to see ULRIK as a man, instead of a co-worker. It sounds like that would make things more complicated, but I wonder what it's like. I went to eat breakfast, resolved to continue reading during the day. I got a lot of learning to do. I finished breakfast and returned to my room to read. The book was thick, written in a small font with narrow line spacing. Since I was only comfortable with the letters I had learned in the Heights, my reading speed was rather slow. Still, the book fascinated me. Now I'm done with the second chapter. The princess still didn't understand how her knight felt about her. Now a male magician had started to work together with them. I was curious how he would interfere with their relationship. Okay. I read too much, I think. My eyes are weary. I should rest. I stretched myself and looked out the window. The princess left her castle and began to travel the world after her country was destroyed. I can understand that feeling because of my own exile. Love, on the other hand... I sighed, frustrated by the mysteries of the human heart. Who's that in the garden? ULRIK!
Whoa! Cyrus! What are you doing here?
Nothing in particular. I just saw you from the window, so I came down.
The window. The one in your room.
Ulrich looked at the building, then back at me.
You came all the way here for no other reason than to talk to me? Are you bored?
No, but I do have the day off.
Ah. Well, take it easy.
I will. I can't feel the pressure on my chest like they do in the novel. Love was difficult for me. I want to thank you again for lending me the book. I love it. I've never read anything as good.
Are you serious? The books you've read until now must have been horrible.
Huh. Was that really necessary? Oh well. Will you let me thank you?
Thank me? It's fine, honestly.
No, I want to do something to thank you properly. That said, it has to be something within my power. Is there anything you want me to do? If I can do it, I will.
Something you could do for me, huh? Let me think.
Ulrich crossed his arms and nodded.
Yeah, there is. I've got something I want you to do, Cyrus.
Okay. I'm curious. Are you really sure about that?
What? You want something else? Chickening out?
No, that's not how I meant that. It's just that I have no experience with that.
There is a first time for everything. If you're not gonna do it now, then when? No, you're gonna do it.
You want to fight me with swords? Huh, okay. I mean, I guess you did try to teach me guns, so let's do this.
Come at me! Fight me!
Ulrich had asked me to teach him how to use a sword. Didn't you say something along the lines of swords being outdated?
Maybe I did. And I still think it. But that doesn't mean they're totally useless, right? I don't want someone to protect me. Doesn't matter what the situation is. I'll use whatever is available to fend for myself. So I want you to teach me how to use a sword. I taught you how to use a gun, remember? Now it's your turn.
Very well. But know this. Swords are tools to protect people, not to hurt them. Don't do evil with them, and wield them with a noble heart.
Right. Not sure I still want to learn, then.
Ulrich.
I'm just kidding. I guess I'm gonna give this my best show. Have to cut a decent figure and all.
Deciding to believe his words, I pointed my sword at him. Everyone has a slightly different stance. Personally, I like to raise my sword up until I see my opponent's eyebrows across the point.
Eyebrows? Across the point? Like this? It'd take a fair bit of courage to attack that.
Depending on the skill of your opponent, you can change it, of course. A basic attack looks like this. I spun my wrist, ran my sword down the length of Ulrich's blade, and swatted it aside.
What?
Ulrich was defenseless. I closed and then thumped him on the chest with my pommel. How did you like that? I only needed a second.
Yeah. That was great. But you're very close.
Our faces were so close that our noses almost touched. Don't. I'm sorry.
You don't have to apologize. I was just surprised because you were so close. It's my fault because I didn't know how to fight. But I see. I think I get the gist of it. It needs more skill than brawn, it seems.
That depends on you. Some people use raw power to overcome their opponents. We're both fairly light, so we need to perfect our skill.
I see. Teach me some more, please.
Not a problem. A few hours later. How's it coming along?
Well, look who's arriving together. Why are you both covered in dirt? Did you each rediscover your inner child and play in the mud?
No. She taught me how to use a sword.
A sword? Taught you? Whoa. If I look out the window now, there'll be a pig flying around. Why use this pasta in a world of flying pigs?
Oh, there's going to be pasta tonight? Cyrus, please. She just completely, ignores 70% of that and just right, spaghetti? I love.
Yes, carbonara made a danger to my own life. I hope you're hungry.
Flying pigs? What are you talking about? What does that mean? It's weird, Elkreed.
If anyone's been mystified by those around him, it's me. You used to hate the heights, and now you're learning how to use a sword, the very symbol of the heights. Nobody would have thought this possible. Whoops, the water is boiling over. Okay. This looks fine. Anyway, I just found it a little odd, a little strange. Makes me think about what might be going on here.
You can think about this however you want. Besides, I'm never touching a sword again. I suck so bad, it's not funny.
And I can't shoot a gun. It fits so well. Don't worry about it. I'll protect you in close combat. Both of you.
I asked for this because I didn't want anyone to protect me. Oh well. I guess I learned that I suck at least. And it was a nice way to spend a few hours. So thanks for that.
ULRIK.
Aw, that's adorable. You're making your father very proud.
ULRIK's father? A few days passed since he lent me the book. I finished it. I closed the book lying on my bed. I didn't know this was a 2-volume series. I suppose that's why the princess and the knight aren't a pair now. I'd been expecting the two to get married by the end, but the princess fell in love with a prince from a different country. Is that... Is that a hint about the whole Finn and Cyrus thing? Where it's the DLC is coming where you can marry that boyo, but in the first volume, you fall in love with a guy from different country. Wow. I wonder how this will end. I really have no idea. I was wondering whom I would have picked if I'd been the princess. What were your options? There was a male wizard. The knight I spent so much time with, or the prince who only just appeared in my life? I didn't know. I couldn't put myself in her position.
The book is basically about you, girl.
Well, I'll need to find out how it ends. I decided to ask ULRIK about the second book when I returned the first one to him.